Hello YouTube, my name is Joe. I'm a student, a writer, a part-time journalist, but most importantly, a gamer. I became aware a while back about a documentary on video games called Mortal Kombat. Intrigued, I went on YouTube and watched the trailer for it. As I watched, I became more and more concerned. It seemed to be very one-sided. Most of the trailer consisted of the most graphic images to be found in video games today, a dangerous sounding musical score, kind of a auditory threat that video games are some kind of monster, and testimony, well, or should I say opinion, from the people who are the harshest critics of video games to be found anywhere. There's been all kinds of information buzzing around the entire internet, all over the news, pretty much mainly the internet though, but loads of information. An entire community has been formed based on the threat this movie appears to pose to the gaming community as a whole. And there's been criticism and mudslinging on both sides. Now, I ask that the film be judged fairly and honestly, and I ask that the film, before it's released, be examined by a neutral third party to determine if it is of merit, and by merit I mean that if it is a documentary in the documentary genre sense, and if it's a documentary in the neutrality sense, and if it's fair to the parties portrayed. I digress for a moment. The movie, it typecasted those who play violent video games to be crazy, sociopaths, killers. It made outrageous claims, stated half-truths, and played upon grave tragedies like 9/11 and Columbine for publicity and wonderful effects. I don't like being called crazy. I am really and truly disgusted by the discrimination, the stereotyping of all gamers. We've been lumped into a category that says, we're crazy and we're killers. We're fine to ignore, of course, at least until a scapegoat is needed. If there is no debate, no pre-screening for appropriateness of this film, then I say, we as gamers should do it ourselves. We should head out to the local theaters with sign-making materials and equipment to boycott and protest the movie. Petitions to be made up and signed. However, once we arrive, we'll purchase tickets and watch the movie and determine if it is a legitimate documentary or just a one-sided bash on people who play video games. We will watch it and we will judge it. If it's a proper documentary, we'll walk away. If it's not, we will boycott it. We will protest it. We will put in petitions for it to be removed from theaters. But we will try it. We will give it a chance. We won't go into the movie beforehand and say, this movie is biased. We will watch and we will determine whether or not it is biased. And that is more than the arrogant politicians and all the anti-game advocates have ever done. Good night, YouTube.